after I say go, you're good.
Yeah.
3, 2, 1, go.
What is up, everybody? It is your boy, Let's Go Joe, and this is not another COD pod, unless you want it to be. Should we talk about it?
All right, let's talk about
All right,
it.
let's talk
and
about
me?
it.
All right, it is your boy Boss or Gio or George. All right, let's talk about it.
All right,
Z.
my name is Matthew, or Z, or Matthew Z. Don't matter to me.
All right, it
Okay.
don't matter, baby. All right, let's get this shit going.
Let's get it
Alright.
going, baby.
So, since this is the first episode, we figured we would give a slight background on each and every one of us before we kind of dove into the topics. Just to give you a better understanding of who we are. Like, some people might come in our Twitch chats, they might know who we are to an extent. But we're just going to try to give you people that are also on YouTube and new viewers coming in on Twitch an idea of who we are. So, my name's Matthew. I am a 21-year-old dude from North Carolina. And I've been streaming, I guess, kind of seriously since September of 2019. I am a part of an organization called Sicario Gaming. Might have heard that if you're in the COD competitive scene, especially the AM scene, you've probably heard of them. Plays pretty good at Champs last year. They've done pretty good this year so far on Modern Warfare. And yeah, I just stream pretty much on a daily basis. Playing COD, been playing GTA recently. Any battle royales, really just trying to give everyone a show that comes into the stream.
All right, yo.
Alright. I'm Joe. Let's Go Joe. You know, whatever you want to call it. I started streaming kind of like end of September, you know, where I really started taking it serious. I play the BRs. I play the role. I like playing Spider-Man. I played through that game like 4 or 5 times right now. I find games I like, I play them and I stream them, and that's kind of how that goes.
That's it.
Come through.
All right. So, I am Boss B0SSS or Gio or George, whichever you would like. I've been streaming for a lot of years, but I didn't really take it serious until towards the end of the BO4 season. At that point, I was streaming a lot of League play and everything, and then obviously Blackout and everything, and I got affiliate towards that end of that game. My main games I play is mainly Call of Duty. I am a hardcore Call of Duty streamer, but I will occasionally stream like Overwatch, Smite, GTA, and then anything else that comes across the way that I vibe with, I'll stream it.
And for everyone on YouTube, both their links will be down the description to their Twitch, to their YouTube if they have one, to their Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, whatever it is. I'll make sure I throw mine as well as theirs down there as well. So to give y'all kind of like a background on the name as well, not another COD podcast. It's obviously like all 4 of us, me and George mainly have been playing nothing but COD for probably years for the most part, and then Joe's been more so getting in the COD as of recently with Blackout and everything like that. So I think he'll be playing majority of COD too, and we all like Call of Duty in general, the Call of Duty League, the past Call of Duty World League. So it's not another COD podcast in the sense of it'll be mainly about Call of Duty, but we also will branch out into other things, which, hence the thing, not another COD pod. So it's mainly about Call of Duty, but depending on the guests that we have, or
esports news,
what's going on in the world,
like
it doesn't
that.
matter. Yeah,
doesn't matter.
It's gonna be mainly a COD podcast, but not just.
So we'll start off talking about COD, and then we're gonna
Yeah.
branch off into something that who knows what it's gonna be,
Yeah, and it's also a play on words, like with the how Joe said the intro, it is not another COD pod, or
Dude, there's
maybe it
no
will.
telling how many different ways we're gonna mess with that, but you know.
So just if those of you were wondering how we came up with the name, just wanted to give y'all kind of like a brief background on it, just to give y'all an idea of what we're working with here.
So,
All right, so the first thing we kind of plan on talking about, like this episode, we're going to keep it like with the background of ourselves and mainly Call of Duty, because that's what the main idea, the main topic of the podcast is going to be about. And something very interesting just happened in the Call of Duty League here recently. Florida decided to let Chicago buy out Pristini. So now Pristini is on Chicago alongside Arcees, Envoy, Scump, and Formal. And Twins are back together, man. The
Twins are
Twins,
back.
It's
the
back,
back-to-back
baby.
champions, the world champs are back together. So how do y'all feel about Pristini going to Chicago?
Bro, I mean, you kind of saw it, you know, all year before he kind of got benched. You know, when he was running around, dude, I think it's a good fit for Chicago, bro. Because I mean, Chicago's got veterans, they got the experience. Pristini's a little young, and you know you can kind of see that. You know, you can kind of see a little bit of that freshness. You know, with inconsistency and like maybe sometimes some bad decision making. But like the kid's super talented, and like he has some really incredible games, and he can really change the momentum of a game by himself whenever he's frying. So I think this could be really big for Chicago.
Dude, I was
Yep.
watching them scrim, because Chicago's like the most notorious team for streaming their scrims.
Yeah.
And I was watching Pristini the first day they announced it, and then they decided to stream. I can't remember who they were playing against. That's honestly kind of irrelevant. But dude, Pristini was frying. Like he
Exactly.
doesn't
Like
drop big numbers. Like he might go negative on a map, but the
and
aggression
he
that
just
he brings,
causes problems for
dude,
the other team
the
when it
aggression
comes
that he
down
brings
to
on
it.
the map is a nuisance. He's got a disgusting shot.
Yeah.
He's a perfect complement to Envoy and Seth, who are the other two main
Absolutely.
subs. Because Gunless was never the main sub. Like Gunless can run any gun. Like he's that talented of a
Yeah, he's
player.
Great
But
player.
he's not a main sub like Pristini is. So I think it gives
Yeah.
them a more of a sub presence on the map that's definitely gonna help them in the long run. Because
Oh yeah.
dude, like something on like Cave or something, you have Alec or RC's and Formal posted up with ARs, and you have the
Yeah.
two little crackheads and Seth running around, man. Like that's going to be a force.
It's
to
going to
reckon
be
with.
not fun for other teams to play against. Not at all.
Yeah, like Pristini, even back on Black Ops 4, like Pristini kind of fell under the shadow of like a BZ and Simp when it came to like the SMG role.
Yeah.
But if you remembered, Pristini was always the one to where it's like when the team kind of needed him most, like he would clutch up and he would do what he had to
Yeah.
do to get done, you know? Like
100%.
he doesn't have like that big name like Seth does as becoming like one of the best SMG players, but he is like pretty consistent at what he does. So when it came over to that trade, well, when it came over to that move of him moving to Chicago, obviously like it was a good pickup for Chicago, but I really do think Florida messed up by letting him go.
Oh,
Oh,
Like
yeah.
Pristini was like literally like if like one of the only, if not like the only like actual pro vet on that team. You know, he won a COD champs. Like he's been under like serious pressure. Like
Oh,
he
yeah.
knows how serious, you know, stuff could get. And the fact that Florida let him go, that was a mistake on their part. But
Could be
I
right
mean,
there.
congratulations to Chicago though for getting that big plus on the team.
I
grab.
think another thing that people don't really understand is Pristini's been around. Him and Alec both have been around since Infinite Warfare, as far as
Yeah.
being professionals.
Yep.
So like they might be young, but they
But
have
they
that
do yeah.
experience. They've been there through the hard times. Like they won an event in IW. They traded Gunless for Clay. They stuck out that roster through a lot of a lot of good and a lot of bad during World War II. Even with Silly off the team, whatever variations of the roster they went
God.
through. Even in
Yeah.
BO4, like Pristini and Alec, they've both been through that.
That they
They've
have.
both been through like the downs and the ups.
And they've
And I'd
both
say
been
they're
together.
Yeah.
and I'd say they're both weathered players, so they might be young, but they're also
Yeah.
both experienced, very experienced at the same time. So I think alongside the two veterans,
Dude.
Scump and Formal,
Getting-
and Envoy having his
getting
breakout
that
year,
kinda
dude, I think
talent
it's going to be a disgusting
with Scump and
roster.
Formal, I think it's going to be really explosive for Chicago, 100%.
Yeah, dude, I think with this, they're going to be a force to be reckoned with at the Seattle home series that's
So,
going to come up
yeah.
this weekend.
So,
Dude, and then like real quick, dude, Pristini, he's just like he's like a genuine human being, bro. Like I went
yeah.
to CWO Vegas during BO4 to compete. My team didn't do so hot at that tournament, but that's in the past. But I remember Championship Sunday, Optic versus E United on that first event, and E United ended up losing to Optic, which is tough because I really loved both of those teams, man. Both of those teams are fucking phenomenal. Like they honestly had like the two biggest rivalry of BO4, I felt like. But yeah, I just remember after Championship Sunday, the hall was emptying out. I was walking out with my team at the time, and Pristini was right in front of us with his girlfriend. And like obviously, like he just lost, so I knew he wasn't like in the mood to like try to interact with fans or something. Like when you go through a
Yeah.
loss like that, especially
Yeah,
at a championship game,
100%.
you're floating
Yeah.
like you're flooding with emotions, right? So I saw him, and then I was like, "Hey, Pristini, dude, like you did amazing, bro. You did everything you had to do." And then he kind of turned around, looked at me. He's like, "Thank you. Like that honestly means a lot." And then at that moment, like I realized, like, these guys are professionals. They're competing and everything. Like they may not sound like it, but it's like our opinions that we have on them actually have an impact on them. They're just people, they're just human beings. So like, especially after a loss, if you go and you tell somebody, hey, like, don't worry about it, like you did good, like you did everything you had to do, like obviously they're still going to beat themselves up because they know they could have done better, or like they know
Yeah.
like there was something else that they could have done different. But the fact that he took my words, just a regular COD player, he took my words and he appreciated what I said. That was just amazing. That's when that was the first
Yeah.
time I've been to an event. That was the first time I met pro players. At first I used to idolize these guys, which I still kind of do now, but not as much as I used to. But like, I idolize these people like if they're gods, like if they're pure celebrities. But that was the first time that I realized they're just human beings just like us.
Oh yeah, they are.
Dude, that's gonna be a nasty team to
But
watch this
bro,
weekend.
but yeah. So can we like loop
Alright.
back? Can we loop back real quick?
Yeah, what you wanna
Yeah.
talk
What's
about?
what's Florida gonna do now?
Yeah, that's exactly what I was about to say.
Just I
So
mean,
Florida's now down to, well, officially, I don't think they've announced their five. It's Skies, Pharaoh, well, no, four. Skies, Pharaoh, Frosty, and Havoc.
yeah.
So they brought in, once Persini benched himself, they brought in Pharaoh, who was their bench player. And then
Yeah.
now that Persini's gone, and their bench players in the starting lineup, and then they bench one of their subs, or one of their starters, who are they going to bring in? Like,
I'm
that.
not,
That's the
Because
problem.
Mox was an I know in the past he's an AR. I haven't really kept up with Florida too much. But like, who do y'all think they're gonna bring in? Because that roster has potential. They've won an event this year. Granted, it might have been online, but
Havoc's
mean,
gonna have to step up first of all. Like Havoc, he's gonna be like one of the main catalysts of that team. I feel like he's gonna have to try to step up and you know do stuff that could have possibly be a game changer most of the time.
yeah, definitely gonna have to see him step up and kind of make those big plays that he needs to make. Yeah, for sure. But like, yeah, where do they go? Where do they go for the number 5? Path to
They're,
pro?
yeah, I feel like they're probably gonna dip if they're not. So I feel like they're first gonna look into like the subs of the teams to try to start some moves. Like look at the subs for like Seattle. We saw one of their guys play a little bit. Look at the subs for Optic. Try to dip into the subs of other teams. If they get no look there, then I feel like they're gonna dip into Path to Pro for sure.
nah. So Luna in chat just said that they picked up a dude named Awakening. He was on the West R team, and the West R team just played Fellows team or Triumph in the
Oh yeah,
finals of the last tournament. So
yeah,
apparently
yeah,
they
yeah.
dipped into Path to Pro.
Oh, I think I saw a tweet about that. Remember I told you, Z?
Yeah.
I was like
So
Awakening, and you're like, "Who's that?" And I was like, "Oh, I don't know."
so
Yeah,
so
yeah, yeah,
I mean
yeah.
they
I
did.
remember,
That's
I
gonna be
remember watching
interesting,
that,
man.
match, and just being like, "Dang, this awakening dude's kind of nice with it."
But honestly, I still don't understand how Fellow hasn't got picked up. Like, no
For
cap.
real, fellow dog. I mean, he's been doing it off, and
From my understanding, he would have never been off of United if the Ord didn't make the roster change for him going into Black Ops 4.
Yeah.
Wait,
that
dude,
sucks,
Ty got
dude.
offered for Florida? Wow.
I got offered.
Wait, what?
Ty got
What?
offered
He
yesterday, or
turned
he
it
said yesterday he got
down.
offered and he turned it down.
Really?
I mean, it's probably because his path to pro is doing really good though. They've
Oh, dude,
won
their
like
Path
almost
to
every
Pro
single
team is
event.
I mean, yeah, they're killing it. They're
disgusting.
absolutely
I
disgusting.
think they won what, 4 of the
Like
last
4 out of the 5.
Something
Yeah.
like that, like something
three
ridiculous.
of the 4. Yeah, like
I think one of the times he lost to Haggie's team, and that was it. I think it was Haggie's team. I'm not sure.
I mean, bro, that's disgusting.
He probably figured he'd be making more money
yeah,
if
he
they keep
probably
winning
will
events.
be making more in the path to pro as long as they keep doing what
and
they're
dude,
doing.
that team is just disgusting. Like Fellows been one of the few Path to Pro players that has a good healthy stream, and he streams all the
Yeah.
later rounds of the events. And dude, that team is disgusting.
That
Like,
team's
they are
very,
filthy.
very good.
I remember this past weekend, Challengers was streaming it on YouTube, and all I saw was a chat. I was like, dude, how the hell is Fellow not on a team yet? Like, just spamming, like,
Yeah.
Tyler Fellow. Like, this man, he's absolutely disgusting. Like, no bullshit.
Dude, he really is.
Real quick.
Go ahead,
Hold on,
go
real
ahead.
quick.
Yeah.
Real quick. Fall from grace. Fucking Pharaoh. Pharaoh had a
Yeah.
huge fall from grace, dude.
Big time.
BO4 with the 100 Thieves, bro. Huge fall from grace, dude.
Well, he's also one of the reasons why Florida ended up winning that event this year. He
That's
played.
true.
He played very well at that tournament.
Very well.
Yeah, so I feel like Pharaoh and Havoc are gonna be like the top 2 that need
Yeah,
to
they
do something.
got to be those guys for Florida. They got to be.
Well, also Frosty's been playing a little under his potential. I think Frosty's definitely got to step
I
up.
think
too, 'cause
Frosty is
came over from
capable of a
Halo,
lot more.
and Frosty's been disgusting at this game from what I've
Yeah.
seen. So I think Frosty definitely needs to step up as well. I mean, the whole team in general, but Frosty,
I mean, yeah,
Frosty's
it's a
got to
team.
give that.
It's a
credit.
team
Yeah.
when you look at it, but everybody's got their guys that are supposed to do what they do. That's just above average.
Yeah.
People forget
So,
that. People forget
we
that it's
good?
a team game, bro. Cause like you watch Chicago, and I mean that's a pretty well-rounded team now, like very well-rounded. Then you look at other teams and you're like, oh, they got this guy, or they got these 3 guys, and then the other 2 are like not up to par. So it's kind of weird how we're not seeing a lot of rounded out teams yet. What's Minnesota doing?
Minnesota out there just.
I feel like Minnesota and LA Gorillas, bro. They've been
Yeah.
I don't know what the hell they've been doing.
I would not put Minnesota with LA. LA has. I
LA's
don't
a
think
stretch.
they even won a. They maybe won a series, I think, opening weekend, but like
Bro,
they haven't played
I don't
good
know
at
what they're
all.
doing,
Rockers
bro.
at least got into 2 finals. Rockers
Yeah,
been there.
Rocker
They've
has
been-
exceeded expectations in my
Yeah,
opinion.
they just haven't played up to their expectations. I think the last event or 2, but they are definitely. I had them going into the year being with like the LA Gorillas. Like I didn't expect them to be as good as they are, and they've definitely proven me wrong. Which
Yeah.
when I say I'm glad they proved me wrong, I am. Like I don't want another team to play bad or like Florida. They beat my expectations about winning a tournament. Like, dude, Rocker is really good whenever they're frying.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like Luna just said, Rocker's good when they want to be. Like that is a good team.
Yeah.
I don't think
yeah.
they need to make any roster changes. I think they really just need to stick it out because they've proven that they can get to the finals. They've proven that they are a good team. They just need to be more consistent, I guess, in that
Yeah,
way.
I guess that's kind of what it comes down to, is just being more consistent.
Oh,
That's
100%.
Yeah,
about
I
it.
agree.
And another team that's kind of proven me wrong is New York, bro.
Bro, they made
They,
the roster change.
They got rid of Zero. They got rid
Yeah.
of Zero, and they picked up Mac, and Mac has been frying. It's another example of another
Mac.
pro team dipping into Path to Pro, bro. Like
Bro,
there
that's
are
the thing,
some
bro.
very
this
valuable
path,
players
this
and a
pool
lot of
of
teams have
players
stuck
in the
them up.
Path to Pro is literally littered with talent that's
Well,
just ready to go
I-
off.
Let me think. They've Path Pro that's been picked up. Now Awakening.
Yep.
Spart, I think, for LA Gorillas. Vivid. Mac. Like there's been I didn't think there's gonna be this many people being picked up from Path to Pro, especially like we're like barely past way on the mid
I forget
of the
was
season.
Yeah.
was
and
Pander.
there's been a Pander. No, Pander was a sub.
He's
He
a
was
sub,
signed as
okay.
a sub. Him and Pander and Proto were subs for Seattle. But it's just, dude, it's also really, really nice to see the pro teams giving these amateurs a chance to make their name, make a name for themselves,
And
like
it's
Mac.
nice to see them go out there and perform
Yeah, like,
whenever
dude.
they do. Like Mac, he flipped it around really quick for New York.
And I've played against Mac, bro. I've played against Mac at a pro point this year before he got signed to New York, and that man was disgusting.
The dude
bro.
is disgusting.
Dude is nasty. And I think he compliments New York very well.
I actually had New York coming in as one of the top teams, like off rip in my mind, just because I thought, like on paper, their roster seemed like a pretty solid roster. So like in my mind, I felt like they would have been.
I really felt
like
like
I'm
they were
not
in
saying
the top half.
Yeah, I wasn't saying like they would be able to like, smack down, Optic, Dallas, Atlanta, but I knew that those four teams pretty much would be the top four teams in my mind. So like when they came out and they played the way that they did, I'm not gonna lie, I was a little disappointed because in my mind I felt like they should have done better. But now that they did do that roster change, I'm happy that everything's kind of falling together and they're competing to that high.
Definitely
to that high
gelling
capacity.
way better.
And speaking of New York and them subbing out Zero for Mac, how do y'all feel about Zero going to London, bro? I think that's they replaced they bench rated after like a couple events, and now Zero's in the starting lineup, and I think Zero's a pretty damn good sub on this game personally. And I think with Wuskin as the main AR, he proved at the beginning of the year when that roster is playing good that he is the best main AR in the game. I wouldn't put him there now necessarily, but like he has the potential to definitely be the best AR in the game. And I think Zero just adds a nice presence on the map. To where that helped that team get map pressure, helped Wuskin start putting up bigger numbers again.
100%.
And I think they're like, I was even looking at a bracket on Twitter earlier that someone filled out, and I was like, dude, they have London like in the semifinals and finals. Like I don't know about that, but I forgot that they had got Zero, and I was like, that's definitely gonna be a team to watch this weekend.
For sure.
Yeah.
I cannot wait to watch them this weekend.
Yeah,
And
with all the roster changes that are going on, this weekend is going to be a really fun weekend to watch.
Especially with Atlanta and Dallas not being there. So like, obviously before you would like, okay, Chicago's a clear favorite, but Chicago with the new pickup with Pristini, they might not have all the practice time in the world. New York's been playing good. I think Seattle. Granted, I'm a little biased towards Seattle, but I definitely think they're going to surprise a couple people this weekend.
Seattle's been playing like they picked it up last event.
They play good, man.
Yeah,
and so I'm hoping they get a lot better.
I'm not gonna fault them for the not the last event they played in, the event before when Brian had his kid or Apathy had his daughter.
Yeah.
They played on short practice. Brian didn't get a lot of sleep. Like he was talking about it on the Trip Cap podcast that the CDL has, and it's just like he underperformed himself, and then that also affected the team in a bad way. And I think with them picking up Ian, or them putting Ian back in the starting lineup, putting Pander back on the bench is definitely going to be a good move for them, especially towards the long run, because players on that team like Brian, like Ian, they've been proven to get better towards the end of the year, and Damon as well. And I think when it comes to the big tournaments, they're all going to step up because they just have that in
That's a
them to step up
very good point right there.
Yeah, that team, if you notice, they're all filled with clutch players,
Yeah.
Like not saying that like early season doesn't matter because obviously like it matters especially now. Like before when it was kind of just like the tournament bracket, like obviously like the big things that would matter would be the CWO playoffs and the finals. Those are like the two major ones. But it's like now that we're on like a point system, like every match pretty much matters. So it's like But it's like that whole Seattle Surge roster, they're filled with clutch players to where when it gets closer to the wire, that's when they'll start like stepping it up. That's when
you'll see the difference whenever it gets down to crunch time, 100%.
That's when their experience starts showing through. Like that's when when stuff gets more pressure, like they're still keeping a calm mind and doing everything that they have to do.
% about that. We could really see them making some big moves here towards the end of the season whenever they feel the pressure on them.
Also, another team that surprised last event that's also in this event is Optic.
I wanted to say
subbing out Cap for Chino definitely seemed like it helped.
Get that shot.
I don't even think they made
shout
it
out to the boy Chino.
I don't think they made it to a single semifinals before that event, and they ended up making it to the finals last event. Granted, they lost to FaZe of all teams. Like,
I mean, phase.
yeah, like
Yeah,
it's the best
phase.
team in the league.
Phase.
Them
Phase.
and Dallas. But they definitely showed themselves. Like,
Yeah, man.
like we said, Atlanta and Dallas aren't going to be there this event. So, Optic could definitely come out
This
and
could be a
surprise a couple
way
teams.
different, way different tournament.
Yeah, like that's
like
gonna
who knows
be,
what's gonna happen? But
that's
man,
gonna
it's
be
crazy.
a very interesting tournament to watch. I literally can't wait for this weekend, dude. It's
Yeah,
gonna be
Yeah.
phenomenal.
I'm really enjoying seeing these teams benefit from making really good roster changes.
Yeah, I'm
It
glad
just-
it's happened.
it's
I didn't
really
think
good.
there was gonna be a lot of them made.
Yeah.
I seriously thought that that teams were gonna stick out with the 5. There weren't gonna be a lot of roster changes, maybe a couple substitutions here and there, but definitely the way things are shaking up is the league's getting better, teams are getting better. It's more of
Yeah.
an even playing
It's
field. It wasn't
evening
like the
out.
beginning of the year
It's evening it
where
out.
it was Atlanta and Chicago, Dallas slightly below them,
Yeah,
and everyone
then
else.
like everybody else,
Now
it's-
Atlanta,
dude,
Dallas, Chicago right behind them.
it's
A lot of
shaping
teams in that
up
mid tier,
fun.
and then only a couple at the bottom.
It
Like, it's
looks
definitely
like
shaping up to be
champs
more
could
even.
be really fun. So yeah,
Oh, easily.
Paul just said in the chat, so how's the points going to work? Because they said all teams will compete at champs, so realistically, any team could come from the bottom if that's the case. It's
Well,
Yeah.
it's seeding.
but it's
The points are seeding, like
matters.
Luna said.
It definitely matters. 'Cause,
Seeding
like,
definitely
they
matters.
say Atlanta's first, right? And they play the Gorillas. Like, they're not going to think in their head this is a cakewalk, but it's pretty
But
much a cakewalk.
Actually, I saw this thing that somebody posted to where it was like their little idea of how champs could work, and it actually kind of makes sense a little bit. But like obviously, like it's not going to be like any other playoff bracket that we've seen from any sport where the top seed faces the bottom seed and it keeps going down like that. What they had it is that like the bottom seeds, they essentially start in a loser's bracket. So the bottom seed has to kind of make a loser's bracket run, while the top
Really?
seeds kind of, well, yeah, the top seeds are in the winner's bracket and they go to where if they lose, they drop down to losers, But that's like the bottom seeds, they only have one shot, which kind of sucks, just because that's kind of like unfair a little bit how some teams get a second chance, but yeah, like those guys don't. But it kind of makes it a little interesting. Like when I saw that, I was like, I was interested. I was intrigued. I was like, you know what? That could be pretty cool. But then I thought about it, like, and then I was like, wait, but what if like one of these teams has like a bad game, like,
I mean,
and they only get one chance? Like that sucks.
basically
gonna
you're gonna
be
be
different.
if that's how it's working. Like that's how the
I don't know if that's confirmed. Like that was just like somebody like that was their idea.
that idea.
But
That'd be kind of
yeah.
cool to see, just those like lower teams be put in a position of more pressure for just like to duke it out and just see who's the clutchest, pretty much.
like
I think
I
it's
kinda
going
like
to be
that.
weird to see. I think it's going to be really weird to see that, every other champs in recent memory, it's been, you have pool play, then you have, then after pool play, based on seeding, you go to the bracket.
Yeah.
It's like, you could see a team only play 2 series and they're out of champs. Like, it's going to start
Yeah.
bracket play for the Call of Duty championships, and it's definitely going to be a different look, and it's going to be weird to watch with how franchising's played out, with how they've switched up champs. It's not like it has been in the past. I think it's definitely going to be interesting to see how that all plays out, and obviously I think it's going to get better over the years with franchising. They'll definitely find better ways to run the
they'd
event.
refine it.
Yeah, they're definitely
Yeah.
going to do things to increase it, but it's definitely going to be interesting to see it this year, with it being the first year of franchising, how it's going to be set up and how it's going to be played.
Yeah, 100%.
Like, and then when I saw that dude's idea, like immediately my first reaction is obviously like it sucks for the lower seeded teams, because like I just have so many memories of prior CODs to where like Optic, all these top names, like first round they drop in a losers bracket,
yeah.
but then they just make a losers bracket
Just-
run.
Yeah, just go
Like
crazy.
last year, 100 Thieves. Last year, 100
Yeah.
Thieves.
Yeah.
I can't remember if it was round 1 or round 2 of the winners bracket. They got knocked out, and they made a run all the way to finals from losers bracket.
Absolutely insane.
Granted, you know they
So-
didn't win, but like that.
But that was fun to watch.
Yeah, like I wonder if that's gonna happen this year with one of these lower tier teams. If that does,
You
end
gotta
up being the
expect that
case.
coming. I mean,
But it just sucks though. Like they only get one shot, so it's
Yeah, for
like
sure.
obviously like people will have bad games. Like that's just inevitable. Like that's gonna happen. So it just kind of sucks for the lower seeds if they do only get one shot because then they just can't redeem themselves.
well, you know, if that happens, you should have just been ready, bro.
Yeah. It's gonna be really interesting though.
I mean,
I'm excited.
That'd be kind of cool to just have that pressure on those games and see how everybody reacts.
And then I mean it'll also just make teams realize on how important the points will. If they stay with the points idea going into the future with the franchising.
The points don't really, kind of what Paul and Luna are talking about in the the points don't really matter to a point. I mean, like.
No, I'm just saying like if that bracket seating is like how it's gonna work, like it's gonna prove like in the future that points really actually do matter. So like you have a chance of getting that second chance of making that losers run instead of pretty much doing a one and done in a sense.
True. And maybe in the future we see more teams in the league, and maybe then points will filter out who gets to go to champs and who doesn't. Maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm not even sure if they've 100% released how they're running champs. This is just kind of like
They haven't.
speculation.
This is all
on how-
speculation.
This is all speculation.
Yeah, it's like kind of speculation
so,
of what we think. And
yeah,
so-
true, Luna. If they implemented buys, that would definitely be more sensible.
Yeah, so since this is the episode for this week, and the Seattle home series is this weekend, I think doing predictions like brackets for the series this weekend or the event this weekend would be good. So in Group A is London, the LA Gorillas, Seattle, and New York. So the first match in that group is London versus Gorillas. What do y'all think? It's gonna be
London
not only the
3-1.
Yeah, we all know London's gonna win that.
Yeah,
match,
London-
right?
London
Unless-
3-1.
3-0,
Unless
3-1,
LA
something like
somehow
that.
pulls something out of their ass. What do y'all think the map count would be? George, you got 3-1?
3-1.
I'm saying like 3-1. It's gotta
I'm going
be.
for a straight 3-0, bro.
You're going for a
like,
3-0. I don't.
Seattle, I think, has
Yeah.
only won a series against LA, and Seattle's also kind of towards that bottom tier because they just haven't played up to their expectations this year.
But
So like, I really don't
play
see
good.
LA beating a team like New York, especially with how hot New York's been. That's
Bro, Seattle's
Or
been an
not New York, but
interesting
London.
team, man.
Fuck.
You see Seattle put together some really good maps against really good opponents, and it's like they just can't keep that going for whatever reason.
Seattle versus New York, I say New York 3-2. Even though I love apathy, I love Seattle, I say New York 3-2.
Yeah, I think we all like the Seattle boys, but yeah, I'm gonna have to go 3-2 for the subliners.
Like it's gonna be a damn good series. Like
I think it'll be
every
good.
series that Seattle plays in, like it's good. Like they almost always go into a final game. It's just they do not have the ability to close out. Sad to say, they just don't have that ability to close out. So I say New York 3-2.
Wait, New York 3-2 against who? Sorry, against Seattle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's gonna be tough because Seattle's been bad at search all year, and which
Yeah.
is weird to me considering they have some solid search players on that team. Like Brian's been
dude,
playing good in search all year.
that's-
Octane's been known as a phenomenal sniper in search. I don't, from what I know and from what I've heard, Enable's not the greatest search player. But then Jerry's been, never really been bad at search, and Damon's always been a pretty damn good
He's
search
been
player.
decent, yeah.
And then
Yeah.
Nubsy, their coach, was the coach of Genji last year, and they were phenomenal at search. So you would think
And that's really
he could
weird.
bring some. You would think he could bring some strats over to definitely help the team because it's not like they have all bad search players. They definitely
And
have
then-
there.
Yeah.
And then they even have Teddy Rex as their S&D specialist, dude. Teddy Rex is easily one of the best not pro players that play search. He's always on S&D grinds. He's always doing S&D tournaments, and he wins like a
Yeah.
lot of them. Like
That's
Teddy Rex, he's really good at S&D.
In
So
the S&D game, that's definitely one of the top names,
Well,
out of anybody.
So I heard Brian talking one day in chat He said like they don't really talk to Teddy unless he's giving input on search, and even then it's just like, from my understanding, Teddy really doesn't help that much. Like Luna just said in chat, like
Yeah.
Teddy doesn't do anything. You know, like I don't know why they're not utilizing that other mind for search, because Teddy
They
and I
could
guarantee
definitely
you,
use
Teddy
it.
and Joey could probably come up with some pretty nice search shots to help the team, because they're
Yeah,
Yeah.
easily.
definitely lacking in that category,
That's
sadly.
Dude, I remember when Teddy, when he was playing on that team at the beginning of the BO4 season, I forgot which team it was, but they went on main stage, and obviously, like, they didn't do as good as Team Sween did, but like you could tell, like Teddy was standing out on that main stage, you know, and the fact that he's just not getting, I don't. It could be a mix of both, though. It could be either Seattle's not, going to him for ideas, or Teddy's just not providing the ideas on his own. Maybe Seattle's waiting for him to, say, hey,
So
like maybe we should do this,
I don't.
or
I don't know what they got going on,
That's
man.
just hard for me to imagine. You sign someone and you're like, okay, the only way we're gonna use you is if you come to us. Like you think that
Yeah,
they would
you would
come to
think they
him,
just
that he
have
would
him
have an active role.
tap.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
You
like
wouldn't, that'd be kind of hard for me to
it's
see. Like,
kind
hey,
of
we're gonna give you at least $50,000 a year to sit there and rep our brand and be a search and destroy
yeah.
analyst, but
But
you not doing any
and
analyzing or helping us in that.
I'm not gonna lie. I've seen Seattle go into some search maps, and I'm just like, what the hell are they doing? Because like it looks like
Oh,
they're
it's
just
the
not
oh
best.
yeah,
ready at all. Like they're not prepared for search sometimes. And it
you,
shows.
you could tell their main focus is respawn,
Yeah.
Yeah,
like
they've been
especially their
better.
dom game.
They've been
Their
better
dom
in
game
respawn as
sucked.
of late.
Their
From
dom
what
game
I've
was not
seen.
good at the beginning of the year.
No,
Like you could tell they focused on their dom game a lot, to where their dom got a little more consistent,
they
but they've
did.
kind of like they're relying more on their respawn skills. Like they're pretty much saying like their S&D is a free map at the time. So like
Which
they could
shouldn't be the
literally,
case.
yeah, so it's like they would literally like they're kind of like the mindset is that they'll take the hard points, so it's 1-0, S&D tie at 1-1. They'll take domination 2-1,
Yeah.
and then the next respawn they could possibly win the 3-1 series. That's what it feels like their mindset is right now.
But yeah, after watching New York at that last event, man, if I was any team, I wouldn't want to play them. They looked really, really good.
And so I think definitely 3-2 subliners with how
Yeah.
they've been looking, how they've been playing. But I think Seattle definitely has the firepower to surprise some people.
Yeah, I mean Seattle is like a team that's got like a puncher's chance. You know,
Yeah,
that's
like if they literally just made like subtle tweaks here and there, like they could be like one of the top teams in my opinion.
yeah, for sure, for sure. I think
All right, so
they got a lot
wait,
of
go ahead.
they got potential to be really good. I don't know what
Yeah.
they got. It's just sometimes they look amazing, sometimes they don't. I don't know.
So so that's all the matches
Yeah.
for Group A. Group B is Chicago, Paris, Minnesota, and Optic. The first match in that group is Chicago versus Paris. Now I think
I say
3-1.
3-2. I say 3-2.
I got 3-1 Chicago.
I got 3-2 Chicago. Just for the fact that we said earlier how they don't have that much practice with Pristini. So they could probably make like simple errors off of like rotating on certain maps and stuff
I think
that could
Pristini.
cause.
I think Pristini's coming out hot. 3-1.
Well, yeah, I think they'll definitely play good, but it's more George is more alluding to like their chemistry.
Yeah.
Them not having
Yeah.
Like-
those kind of chemistry, especially in a game mode like Search.
Yeah, like so, like obviously Arcity and Pristini, like they immediately have chemistry.
Yeah.
They're brothers.
Yeah.
They play together since the beginning. Like they've always been together. Like their chemistry is probably one of their chemistry could possibly match Seth and Formal's chemistry.
It really would.
Like those guys.
If not more.
So
Probably
Yeah.
more. They're twin brothers. You gotta think.
I mean,
yeah,
They probably have more. They've been around each other their whole lives.
yeah. So it's like we have two, like technically four good guys on that team that have chemistry with pretty much like it's pretty much like two duos and then one left over, right?
yeah.
And then
So
even that
obviously,
quote unquote leftovers, a fucking animal.
yeah. So it's like I feel like they're gonna do like pretty good, but I do feel like their chemistry as a full team isn't fully gonna be there yet.
And
But
then
it's-
normally, for whatever reason, Scump's teams have always kind of came out of the gate slow and slowly worked their way up. So I get where you say that, but I really think they're gonna come out of the fire in this 3-1.
I think they're gonna do really good. I mean, and either way you look at it, it's more than likely they're gonna lock up the win. And
Okay.
other matchup.
It is Minnesota versus Optic.
Oof.
I think
Oof.
Optic
if
3-2.
before this past weekend, I would have easily said Rocker 3-0, 3-1. But with
Yeah.
how
Yeah.
Optic looked last weekend and how slow Rocker's been looking, I'm gonna come out and say Optic 3-1.
This was kind of tough.
I really think Optic's
It's a-
gonna come out and surprise some people, or it could be the opposite. Minnesota could be firing on all cylinders that weekend, and they could come out in 3-1 Optic.
I'm
I just think it's gonna be an
actually,
interesting.
I think it's going to be a good one. I think Minnesota's kind of going to have a little bit more figured out this week. Maybe, hopefully. I like Minnesota.
Oh, yeah.
I like them. Because, I mean, they weren't supposed to be as good as they were. They're kind of just like, not the players that everybody's like idolizing in the league. They're kind of just like just the other guys, and everybody's like, it's Minnesota. But
Yeah.
then they come out and they like they smack a little bit. So like, I think it's gonna be.
Dude, I got a foot cramp. Leave me alone.
Oh my God.
No, I saw what
bro.
you put in Apathy's Discord.
What'd you put in Ab's Discord, bro? We're
Yeah,
okay.
but-
No, we're not falling off. We're not branching off right now. I'm giving it Optic 3-2.
Okay.
Minnesota's gonna make
I'm-
it competitive.
I'm gonna go with the upset on this one. I'm gonna go with the upset on
Ooh.
this one, and I'm gonna go Minnesota 3-2.
Okay.
That's a hot take.
So, we all agreed New York and London would win out of Group 2.
Yeah.
So that would throw New York versus London in round 2 of Group A.
I'd say New York 3-1.
New York 3-1. Yeah.
I got New York 3-2. I really think Zero is going to help that team become a whole different team. I
Oh,
really think
yeah,
they're going to
I
kind of
mean-
get back to their early season form. But I still think with the way New York's been playing, I don't really think,
Bro,
especially.
they were really scary, man. Last event it was
I really
different.
think
It was
I really think
completely
it's going to
different.
be 3-2 New York to advance them to the I believe that would send them straight to the actual bracket if I'm not mistaken.
I think that would send them to bracket.
All right, so that would put Seattle versus the Gorillas, I believe, in
Seattle.
Lock that one up, baby.
Okay.
Yeah,
All
lock
right,
that one up.
We've done on it, what,
3-2.
2 or 3 times? 3-2.
What?
Bro, don't.
Take it
I'm
easy.
just saying, bro.
Don't underestimate the shittiest team in the league.
No, just Seattle scares me sometimes, bro. They scare me.
Yeah.
Okay, that's all I'm
But
saying.
it's the
Alright,
Seattle
so-
home series, bro. They have to step it up for the one
Yeah,
time.
yeah, the home series,
Home, quote
Alright,
unquote.
So then
quote
that would
unquote
throw
home
that
series.
would throw for Group B. It would. I think me and Joe kind of agreed on this. It was Paris versus Rocker. But then George said otherwise. So Joe, who do you think between Minnesota and Paris is gonna win that?
God, that's a tough one.
I'd say Paris.
Uh,
Well,
Yeah.
I've been in Zed's chat a lot lately, and he even said scrims have been kind of rough the past couple days. So I don't really see them playing that amazing. So I'm gonna go 3-2 Rocker.
see, I kind of like that, man. Yeah, I'm probably the same there. I was thinking Rocker the whole way.
Just because Paris has
Expendable
also been
agrees.
underperforming. Yeah, Paris hasn't been playing as good as they were at the beginning of the year, just like
Yeah.
London. And I think, well, neither is Rocker either, but from what I've heard in Zed chat, they haven't been playing. The scrims have been kind of rough the past couple of days. So, based off just that knowledge, I would definitely say I think Rocker can come out with a vengeance.
Yeah.
That one's a toss-up for me. I honestly can't give an honest answer on that
yeah,
one.
no, that's actually just a tough one.
That one
That's
is
tough.
one of the ones that could go either way, in my opinion.
100%.
And I wouldn't be mad about it. Like if Paris wins, good for them. If Rocker wins, good for them.
Yeah, that's kind of
know,
just
it's-
like.
That one is just a hard to give a. It's good. It's hard to give a good, honest answer on.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
Weird teams,
this-
man.
I think this weekend's definitely gonna be interesting because, like I said,
I'm
you know,
looking forward to it.
the clear two favorites aren't there. So it could honestly go
Yeah.
either way because like Chicago picked up, it got a new pickup. They could be better than what they were when they won the London Open event, or they could be just still trying to
Worse.
get the chemistry. They could still be trying to build that up. So you never know how they come out.
Yeah.
Um, Seattle making the roster change, London making the roster change, New York's been frying, Paris has been struggling, Rocker been struggling, Optic making the roster change. So like there's definitely a
This is
bunch
definitely weird.
of
It's. I
different
mean,
there's definitely a bunch of different outcomes that can come out this weekend. I think this is going to be a need to watch weekend because
yeah.
we
This
could
is
have a first time winner. We got a
big
first time
must-watch
winner
weekend.
in all of Group A. Paris could win, Rocker could win, or like like there's 7 teams that are in this tournament that have yet to win a tournament this year. So
Yeah.
like unless Chicago wins, there's going to be a first time winner, and it's going to be a great watch all
And
weekend long in
we'll
my
just
opinion.
see how that maybe they can propel them throughout the rest of the season if one of these lower teams can get a big win like that. And
So
just
I don't know how
secure
the
an
rest of the
event.
bracket would play out, bro. It's gonna hurt my head to try to figure out. But
Yeah, I'm just gonna leave that up to the
my
experts.
my 4 teams that I think are gonna make it in the bracket, Seattle Subliners, Chicago Optic. I'm gonna throw Seattle in there. One because Brian's in the chat, and two is because it's their home
Yeah,
series.
we do got the goat apathy in the chat. I'll get
Two,
it. Let's
two
go
is
app.
because it's their home series. So I really think,
Oh.
and they made the roster change. And I think Ian's gonna help him out a lot more. Like seriously, like Brian, I was kind of messing around when I said that, but I think that'll come out and turn some heads for sure. But
No,
I just
I
kind of had to
think
throw that joke in there. And I don't know, I have no clue how these brackets will line up. I'm just gonna throw Seattle versus Optic, and then Chicago versus London, or not London, New York. Just I don't know how the bracket's gonna play out. This is all hypothetical.
yeah.
Yeah,
Who do
no, I
you
get
think?
you.
Who do you think will
Hypothetical.
win, Seattle or Optic?
Optic's scary right now, you know.
I
Optic is scary.
I love my boy Brian,
I
bro.
love,
Brian,
yeah,
I
nothing
love
but love
Brian,
for the
but
boy.
that one's
App.
tough.
That's a
one's
tough. That's a
tough.
tough matchup right now. Optics up there, bro. They looked really, really good last event. So that's a tough
Right.
one. I
Brian's
don't.
like all these little shits. and
Yeah, I
I'm like,
know.
oh.
The little
He's like
schmuck.
Matthew Unmodded, Joe Band, George VIP. Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, get the fuck out of here. You little
Fuck outta here. Get the fuck
here.
But nah, I think dude, that seriously is a hard one because dude, like I've been biased. I've been saying this since the first event. Seattle is going to get
Seattle?
good. You literally
Yeah.
have to give them time.
You gotta give
Yeah.
it to them.
Yeah, we're halfway through the year, but they've
Yeah.
also gone through a different, couple variations of the roster.
And then life
And-
changes.
Yeah, and I really think it's going to be an interesting event for them because they could
Yeah.
either play worse with Ian being on the team, or they can come out and turn heads,
We're
dude.
gonna
It's,
see what happens.
Ian is going to be a big catalyst. Like, I know this for a
And
fact.
he
Like
has
Ian,
to be.
like Ian might have
Yeah.
started off slow at the beginning of the year, but if you go back and look at
Yeah.
BF4, he did the same thing on 100
Yeah.
Thieves. And then
Oh, yeah.
once replays and Priested came over, I think I saw replays had a video of this. They kind of sat down and they like looked at the gameplay of Ian, and then they just kind of learned what he was doing wrong, and then that's when he came out and started frying. Was arguably the
Yeah.
best entry sub in the game.
100%.
And I really think it's just like Ian's been grinding a lot from what
Yeah.
I've seen. He's been streaming. He's been playing a
App
lot of
just
tens.
said
I
it.
really think
App
Ian's
said it.
definitely
Ian's
improved.
going to play great.
Yeah,
Th-
okay.
this-
They're
see?
still working.
hold on. This is what I'm thinking. So, all the past Call of Duty leagues, pretty much, if you didn't do good, you either stay on the team and you didn't do good, or you get dropped, right? So I feel like with Ian just getting subbed out, like that kind of like put him in a mindset like
Extra
shit, like
motivation.
yeah, like he's like shit, like I don't want to lose my starting position to somebody else. Like
mean,
in
yeah.
the past, if you do bad, you either get dropped and you get picked up by another team, or you
Yeah.
just stay on the team. Like you don't literally get subbed out and you get sat out. So I felt like with him getting subbed out, like that kind of like opened his minds in a sense of like, yo, like I want to play, like I want to compete, like I just don't want to sit here and do nothing. So I felt like that like probably gave him like an extra drive or motivation to the point of where he could go out there and he could perform the way that he should be
That's
performing.
definitely gonna have
Speaking-
something to do with it.
Speaking of
and I'm ready to
extra
see how that
motivation, I
goes.
remember I was in Slacked or Jerry's chat the other day, and he was talking about how he's been on a stream grind. I was like, dude, it's good to see Apple Schlacka back on the grind. And I was like, dude, Brian's been streaming his ass off, bro. He's getting back on that grind. And I was like,
Yeah.
it's surprising to me considering with Amelia just being born. For those of y'all who don't know, that's his baby daughter that was born in April.
She's beautiful.
I was like, he's
Facts.
been grinding. I was
Bro,
like, it kind of surprised me. And
he's
then
got that dad
then-
strength now.
and Jerry was like, he's like, see, it surprises me, but it also doesn't
Yeah,
because
bro.
now he's a father. He has to not only provide for his wife, but he also provide for his
Yeah,
little baby
bro.
girl. So it's
Yeah.
extra motivation on top. And I
telling
think
you.
that's
Dude,
definitely gonna be
it's-
another thing.
It's gotta be
'Cause, like,
different when you're a
Brian-
dad.
The last couple years, even Brian said in the trip cap, like he's had those where he's got off to a slow start, but this
Yeah.
year, for the most part, other than that one event when Emilio was first born, he's played very consistent throughout the whole entire
Oh,
year.
yeah.
And on top of this
Easy.
extra motivation,
Oh
dude,
yeah.
I think the donk's about to be in full force.
The dog. The dog.
Donk,
The dog.
the donk.
But
Yeah, we got the dad squad, bro.
Yeah, we got.
That dash
He's
squad
got
about to be-
he's got dad strength, bro. That's something that hits different.
That strength do hit different.
It really do. So we'll see how that we'll see how
I
that
think
works
it's-
out, bro. Yeah, Ab's one of those
Alright.
guys, man.
So since we already said, all right, wait, final predictions. Like, okay, come on, it's hard.
I gotta
After
Love-
no, like dead ass here. Like I'm not trying to say this just because apps in the chat, right? I think Seattle's got
Right.
a 3-2.
Okay, yeah,
I seriously
Yeah,
think this
right.
weekend they're gonna come out and turn some heads.
Okay.
right.
Okay, so if Enable comes out and performs, it's going to be Seattle 3-2. But if Enable doesn't come out and do what he has to do, like the way that he's done in the past, it's going to be Optic.
I think
I feel like Enable is going to play a big role in their wins this weekend
the
or
key
not.
to victory.
Yeah,
I think I'm with you on that, George. That's about spot on. We're gonna
like
we're gonna
a
leave
lot
up
of
to
it. A lot of it relies on Enable, dude.
I mean, you
like if
can
he
re- I
comes
mean-
out and he does,
because I mean,
if he
Alright.
comes out, and does
you
what he has
know
to
what
do.
you know what App's gonna do.
Well, it's a team game, but I get what you're saying. Everyone's got to come out and play because
Hey, you gotta have everybody.
know, Brian could come out and fry, Sam could come out and fry, but then Jerry, Damon, and Ian shit the bed, or say Brian shits the bed, Ian shits the bed, and the other three fry. Like
Yeah.
like everyone
It's-
has to be on their A game. Everybody has to be playing as a team because like Sam could drop 35 kills and have a minute in Hill, but if he doesn't have any help, then they're not gonna be playing
Exactly.
nowhere near as good as a team.
I
Like
mean-
they gotta
I
be
mean,
they gotta be playing a team game. They can't let one person shine. They
Yeah,
gotta be
like
playing a team game.
nobody's gotta leave any slack for somebody else to pick up. It's gotta be
get it, slack.
everybody same page. Everybody firing on all cylinders. That's what it's gotta be.
Yeah.
Because I mean, some of these there's like FaZe. If someone's having a bad map, they got so many studs that somebody can pick up the slack for a map. If somebody's
Oh, easily,
that's what's scary about FaZe. That's why it's gonna
dude. Simp and Easy alone cover like most of the squad, bro.
bro, it's crazy, bro.
Simp and Easy alone
Oh,
could cover most of the squad.
What about Cell, bro?
Yeah.
Dude,
I mean,
Zell's
that's a
been
roster that's
flying.
just
They're scary.
mind blowing.
Like Sim can
That-
have a bad
that
map,
FaZe
but
squad
then
is fucking
Abizi's
crazy.
gonna pick
What
it
is
up.
good, Rilo? How is it, my guy? Glad, glad to see
All right,
Rilo.
so enough about that particular matchup. Next one is next one's gonna be Chicago versus New York.
That one's tough too.
That's a really
but-
tough one, bro.
I
You
feel
know
like
what?
that one comes down to Pristini too.
It does,
I'm
it
gonna throw in a little bit of
does.
a surprise in here.
I'm going New York.
3-1 New York.
Ooh, the 3-1.
We've had too many game fives. We hadn't
Mm.
had hardly any 3-0s. I'm throwing in an upset 3-1 New York.
I don't think Chicago's going out like that.
Wouldn't Chicago technically be the upset? Because New York has been performing so well and Chicago just did a roster change. So nobody's kind of like, everybody's hoping that they would perform well, but nobody's really kind of expecting the chemistry to be there.
Could say that you're gonna see you're gonna see it from both sides. People are gonna think Chicago is gonna fry, and then there's gonna be people that think the new roster is gonna have like little hitches in it. But like, honestly, if
I'm
they were
throwing it in
firing
there.
full force, I think it's literally like a 3-2 one way or the other. It could go either way. But right now, I think we're going 3-2, New York.
I'm going 3-1 New York.
That's pretty hot.
I
take.
got 3-2 Chicago.
Rallo's tuned in. You love to see that.
I got 3-2 Chicago.
3-2
All right,
Chicago. I
so
like that.
you took Shy, and who did you take? Did you take Seattle or did you take OG George?
I think I said it like enables the catalyst for that
No,
game.
no, I need an answer. No beating around the bush. I need an answer. Who you think is gonna win the
It's
series?
not beating around the bush. It's the truth. Like it's the fact.
But
Like
that's not
if
the
it
answer. You're not answering the question that I'm asking.
Man, I hate to say it. I think Optic's going to go 3-2.
Okay, so, Optic. I got Seattle. Who you got?
George?
All right. Well, more technical
More
difficulties.
technical difficulties. Okay, so now that we're alone,
All right. Fuck that, dude.
wink, wink. Oh, he's back.
Hey, Joe, stop talking shit. All right, Joe. Who do you got? You got Optic
Bro,
and
it's
you
the
got...
guys. They didn't want me to answer the call, bro.
Nah,
They didn't want me to
answer
answer the question.
George, answer the question. You look, Brian's not in the chat anymore. Just answer.
Yeah, I
dude,
know.
he's not in the chat
It's
anymore,
tough.
bro.
It's still tough though, dude. Like Chino, dude, Chino came in off the game and he like that one move has made the off the gaming play like so much better. And it's just we don't know how Enable's gonna come out and perform. Like if it was Pander that was still in the roster, I could easily say Optic. But the fact that Enable's back in the roster and we just don't know how he's gonna perform, it's just tough to say, dude.
100%.
Like that one is just like tough to say, like because we don't know if we're getting the old Enable or we don't know if we're getting that second half of BO4 season Enable. You know,
Oh, wow. Yeah.
if Enable comes back the way that he came back at the end of BO4, Seattle's taking that game easily, bro. But the fact that we just don't know the Enable that we're getting, it's a tough fucking question, dude.
Yeah, that's why it's Optics really scary right now. They look really, really good right now.
But
Seattle's a little bit of a question mark. Just
all
so
right,
far.
Noah's got Seattle Shy, George. Just you just gotta answer the question, man.
No life.
I'll put my money on Enable.
Okay, so Seattle.
We'll
All right,
see
so
it.
you got I have Seattle, New York. I think it's gonna be a repeat of the first round matchup. I think New York's gonna come out 3-1 Seattle in the finals.
Yeah, I say New York will win that one.
New York is a beast right now, 100%. If without FaZe in the picture, we're gonna be seeing New York have a lot of fun this weekend.
So Joe, you had you had Optic and New York.
Yeah,
Who do you think's gonna win Optic New York?
bro, that's one that could get fun. I think. I mean, that's like a. Bro, I don't know. That's a tough one. You got to think about that one really hard.
It's a tough one.
That's
It's tough.
What would you do, George?
I'm going New York. I think New York.
Yeah,
no,
I think
listen. I'm gonna give y'all a bold prediction. 3-0 New York.
That's not that bold.
That's bold. That's bold.
That's like
3-0 New
that's
York.
medium spice.
New
medium
York 3-0
spice.
and Optic in the finals.
Bro, New York could 3-0 their whole way through this thing. If like
Well, you gotta think, bro. You gotta think. Tommy, Attach,
Temp.
Tim, accuracy. Like they haven't won. None of those four have ever had their. They haven't won in a while. Max never won a pro event.
I mean, yeah.
Like
Did Splice
You
win an
gotta
event in BO4?
no,
They
didn't
didn't.
win
They
an
got
event.
close, I know for sure.
they got I think 2 or 3 finals,
Yeah.
or they like hovered around top 3. But I think they're gonna be hungry for a win. And with, like I said, without Atlanta or Dallas being in this tournament, I think New York's really gonna be hungry for a win. I think they're just gonna steamroll.
I think you got a good point. I mean, dude, New York is gonna roll through this thing, I'm pretty sure.
I'd say Chicago. Chicago 3-1.
Chicago's gonna be up there.
I say Chicago 3-1. I'm really betting on the chemistry between Pristini and Arcides.
I mean, yeah. Yeah, you could definitely count on that, 100%. I'm ready to see that Chicago team run it with
Big
Prestini.
time.
That could be a very scary team. That's
All right, so now, oh my God, so I keep.
Nah, bro. Just forget about it.
That's pretty
Alright.
much all of our predictions, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So now that we've gone through, now that we're going through we've gone through the tournament this weekend. What Path to Pro players do y'all think can impact one of these struggling pro teams?
Fellow.
Fella.
So
Like,
obviously,
dude,
like,
it's
obviously,
Fellow. Like, he's literally the best in Path to Pro right now, I think. Like, he's a beast.
like, yeah, obviously, you know, fellows a clear. He's a clear like person we're all gonna say. But what team do you? Okay, obviously other than Florida, he already denied Florida, so like Florida's not the option. What other team do y'all think he can impact and why? Like, you elaborate on it.
I mean, the only other team that would really kind of need his help would be the Gorillas.
Yeah, that's what I was about to
Like,
say. I mean, like, everybody else
yeah.
kind of even themselves out right now, as far as with roster changes and whatnot. Gorillas are the only one
Fucking-
that are kind of like getting shit on right now.
Yeah, with the Gorillas, like they're really just trying to figure stuff out. I feel like if Fellow were to go to the Gorillas, he would help them so much with his even just his map awareness, bro. Like Fellow is such a smart fucking player, dude. Like he's not only aware of what he's doing, but he's also pretty much aware of what almost all of his other teammates are doing, bro.
Yeah, bro. He could really take in and just be a leader.
Like he could literally join the Gorillas and become captain. Like,
Yeah.
and that's not even cap.
He's map awareness. Like he just kind of has he knows the game and he knows how to do it, and he's
Like,
got a really good
you know,
shot too.
Luna said he denied Florida, so what would make
Yeah.
y'all think he's gonna go to the
He's-
Gorillas?
I didn't say he was, but like
that you know
you asked who he would benefit.
Well, no,
That-
who do y'all think he'll go to and
Oh.
why?
Dude, he's probably gonna just ride out
If
Path
he
to
goes
Pro.
anywhere. Well,
He's gonna,
He's just gonna ride out the pro.
Y'all are no fun.
bro, if he's gonna go to a team, the only team that would, like every other team's kind of like, would kind of like.
Bro, Atlanta don't need him. Atlanta has like some of
No.
the best teams in the game.
Atlanta, Chicago, and Dallas aren't touching their rosters. There's
Yeah, exactly.
I
And
think
those
a lot of
probably
people
the
are-
only
I think
group
a
that he possibly go to.
I think there's a lot of people are chilling right now with their rosters.
I feel like if anything, I feel like Philip would only go to a championship contending team. But the thing is,
Yeah.
the championship contending teams, they're pretty much not going to touch the roster for the most part.
Yeah, I can't. I mean, I really couldn't place him somewhere right now because just nothing really works.
Do you think? Now, don't get me wrong, with how good this particular team's been playing, would you imagine him possibly going to Optic and replacing someone like Chino? Yes, Chino's a great player. Chino is a proven player, but I think Fellow is an improvement on Chino
I agree with
and would
that.
help, catapult them to
I honestly
being
think Fellow.
even a better team.
I think Fellow could take Optic to a championship.
Because Fellow runs AR on Cave, and he's like a main sub. Like over the years,
Yeah.
he's been a main sub player, other than BO4, which I don't count that because a lot of sub players ended up running Maddoxes.
Yeah.
But like Fellow's always been that sub player. He kind of busted onto the scene in BO3 and was disgusting at BO3. We're not gonna bring it last year. He's talked about it on stream. He kind of some very unfortunate circumstances kind of hurt him last year, but like he's always been
Yeah.
up towards the top
He's
and has helped
yeah.
benefit his rosters. And I really think if Optic might be like, I haven't said this. I've been saying like Seattle for him replacing Pander, or like New York him replacing Accuracy. But dude, I really think Optic might be the best fit for him.
I feel like he would go to Optic once Optic starts getting more solidified. Once Optic starts becoming a lot more consistent and they do start making like championship runs, I could see it happening, because I just don't see Fellow going to a team that isn't a championship contending team. Like in my opinion, dude, like he's already won like so much challenger leagues and stuff. Like he wants to win. Like obviously, like it also comes down to money. Like if a team pays him enough money, then almost anything is possible. But if it's like his own will and wish, I feel like he's gonna go towards a championship contending team.
I think it'd be fun to see him
yeah.
on Optic for sure. But,
Here's something else that we haven't touched on that we have epically screwed up on.
Oh God.
Where's Gunless going?
Oh.
Where's Gunless going?
I mean, who needs an AR?
Well, now he's not even an AR because you gotta think on every map other than Cave, it's 4 sub 1 AR meta. So Gunless is technically a sub this year.
True.
So like it doesn't really matter what team needs what because he could run either or, but like what team do you think he'll benefit? Because you got to think Chicago's not going to hold on to him. They have General. Gunless probably will not go back to that roster even if they ever got rid of someone else. Like I don't think Gunless like is going to let himself go back to the roster that just dropped him.
I doubt he goes to LA. He probably don't want to lose.
What about New York and accuracy?
That's what that's what I was gonna say.
But
that's what I was gonna say.
Would you see him completely changing roles and going from a sub to a main AR?
I mean, but Gunless has been an AR in the past cards, hasn't he?
Yeah, but he's never been like the main AR. He's never been the Arcides, the Clayster, the Crimsix, the Formal.
He could do it.
I mean, probably, but like, do you really see him changing roles altogether? Or do you see him riding out the bench for the rest of the year, just taking the money?
Bench. He's not riding bench for sure. I know that for a fact. He's not riding bench.
Dude, you throw him on New York, dubs. Just dubs. I mean rings.
Honestly, though, New York would be tough just because of Temp, his demeanor and stuff. I feel like him and Gunless might feud a little bit.
Now here's an interesting question. Do you see him going to Toronto? A team that's been on the up, a team that's been on the up. He's from Canada. He is Canadian. Do you see him going home to Toronto and helping that roster, considering they've been playing better as of late?
But I high-key forgot about Toronto. I can't even count.
Bro, on the highest of keys, actually. I'm not qualified. What about Censor going back to contenders?
I thought he did. I thought he did drop out of his contract because he had posted that he was a free agent for challengers.
I'm not sure. I just remember watching his YouTube video and him saying that he was talking to the owner the next day.
Yeah. I know he was talking to him, and then he had made a post on Twitter saying that he was a free agent for challengers.
I don't know. I love. Okay,
He's
so
still a sub.
if Doug goes to challengers, right? This is like a lot of this has been hypothetical.
Yeah.
I don't know, bro. I don't know what team can, quote unquote, benefit from Doug as a player.
Fellow's team is not picking him up. That's for sure.
No, not even close. Maybe Westar.
What about Haggie's old team? Because they're the ones that always compete with Fellow. Excuse me.
I don't know.
That one's tough.
That's a very
that
tough
one's
like, dude. I don't see him going anywhere and being like the most impactful. Cause like I like Doug as a person. Doug is a very stand-up dude, but Doug's a great Sky player. You know, like. He's He's proven himself in the past, but in the past being Ghost in the beginning of Advanced Warfare. He hasn't. You gotta think he hasn't won an event, I believe, since the beginning of Advanced Warfare. I'm pretty sure, retired in Black Ops 3. He didn't play Infinite Warfare. He came back in World War II and wasn't successful in World War II. He didn't play Black Ops 4.
Complexity in World War II, wasn't he?
Yeah, with Dashi, Blast, and Ricky, and that was not a successful team.
No.
Hell no.
Like, do y'all really see him going to a Path Pro team and being that player that they need?
Honestly, I feel like that. Like, I love Doug, dude, but I feel like his career's done. Like, he just needs to. He just needs to retire.
Move on to content creation or something.
Like, I think him being a sub is kind of like the perfect fit for him, because he said in that YouTube video of him talking about saying I quit, whatever. He said that he's ran 4 scrims and they're 3-1 in the scrim count. So I think Doug can come in and be that player that you need, that you can rely on, as far as he'll be there, he'll play the maps, he'll give it his 100, like he'll give it his all, he'll give it 110%. But I don't think he's that long-term player that's going to like boost a roster.
No.
So I don't
No.
really see him going to challengers. I don't see him getting on a team that's going to contend with something like Triumph or something like Westar or Haggie's old team or Haggie's new team. Like, I don't see him being in these, the top contenders in the Path to Pro team. So like,
dude.
I don't want to say he's wasting his time, because he's competing, and that's what these professionals do. They love to compete. I think his best role in Call of Duty is just being a sub. He'll being there when they need him. That allows him to stream, to do full-time content creation. I just think that's the perfect fit for him.
Yeah.
I mean, we could let him ride out. Yeah, a little sub role, but
I just know he's not gonna want to stay a sub though.
I think you're
Anything
right there.
else y'all got to talk about?
Fuck, Warzone.
We've touched on everything that I've wrote down so far.
We haven't
Yeah.
talked about
Anything else?
Warzone, have we? I mean,
As a
Warzone-
team, Warzone.
I mean, we're going for about an hour.
we're at 1 hour and 26. I don't know how much of that was technical difficulties.
I think a lot of it was technical difficulties.
Okay, not that much. A lot, maybe.
20,
12.
15, 20 minutes.
Eh.
All right.
So,
So, Warzone. The current state of Warzone. How do y'all think it is?
Dog shit.
dude, like, I was all for Warzone when it first came out, bro. Like,
Bro, yeah,
it was
shit was-
so much fun for
The
me,
meta
bro.
is annoying. First of all, you either
The
get
growl. I
you
feel like
either
the
get
growl.
beamed
I
by
love
a
the Don't
growl.
talk shit about the growl.
I love the growl. It's a phenomenal gun to shoot.
My
I mean,
baby.
it's God, that gun's so damn good.
Here's the thing about Warzone is that my opinions are going to be almost polar opposite from your guys' opinions, because
think-
I don't hate Warzone as much as you guys do.
I hate
Dude,
Warzone.
it's just like, at the beginning of the
It's
year, I was
super
good
tilting,
at Warzone.
bro.
I was
Why won't my
super
camera
good at
focus?
Warzone.
Come on, bro.
Like, it was something new, it was something fresh, it was
Thank you.
different than Blackout, it was
Yeah,
different than any
new,
other BR that we've
fresh,
ever seen.
Bro.
With the bicart being introduced, the
Yeah,
gulag,
man.
like,
But
there's the loadouts that drop in randomly throughout the map.
bro,
Like, these were things that were different.
when
these things that were new.
Warzone
But
dropped,
then, once they allowed you to make akimbo pistols your secondary, that allows you to also get ghost off rip with your class. It just kind of like, it got super annoying to play. Then it just got stale for me. It got very, very, very oversaturated, and I
I'm
just
kinda-
didn't enjoy it.
the
I
self-res
took like a week
is-
and a half break from it, dude, and it's been phenomenal. It's been great, dude. It's been absolutely phenomenal.
I lost full on Warzone already today.
Yeah, see,
Like that's, bro. It's just in the squads, man. Mainly, my main problems with squads, bro. You can either.
Squads. They need to add duos. They need to take squads out.
I don't even know if you take squads out. Take self-reses out of squads.
take self
You
res
have 3 other teammates, bro.
Take self reses out in general. And I think it honestly
Bro,
it
you
fixes
can
a lot of
drop-
things.
That the one thing I like about squads, you can get those stupid high kill games, or
Here's my thing.
Yeah, dude. I love kill games.
Here's my thing. We already have the gulag, which was introduced off rip. We have you can buy your teammates back right off rip, and then the self reses. That's 3 chances to stay alive.
like
bro.
just
That is
You're-
2.
That's false
Stick,
information.
pick
That is
one.
3 minimum. Because you can get bought back infinite amount of times as long as there's
Yeah.
a buy card. There's nowhere. So, like, I think also a very good way to balance this out is, like, after 4th circle, you should not be allowed to buy back your teammates.
Honestly, and there's honestly no point to do it afterwards, anyways, unless there's a loadout drop in the circle. Because if you buy your teammate back that late, you're not finding any loot whatsoever.
Oh well, let's
Like,
not
you have
forget.
to-
Let's not forget if you have full armor plates, you can just land on a dude, whack with a pistol, 2 punches, 250
Joey,
health,
so much.
deleted. Blows my mind.
Joey hates it so much.
If I got punched
Oh.
twice,
Huh?
if I got punched twice, I'm probably not gonna be knocked out. I've been punched twice before, and it didn't knock me out. How the
Well, it's 'cause
how do you
I got
die?
one of these-
You
How
also
do
didn't
you
get
die?
pistol whipped.
punches.
You also didn't get pistol whipped twice.
I got hit with a sledgehammer
Okay, never mind.
in the head.
Okay, well
That's
that
a
explains
little
lot.
worse than a pistol.
Paul,
That's a little
Paul
worse
is-
than a.
Paul just brought up a good point in the chat.
Yeah, he did.
said
Skill-based matchmaking
The real issue
sucks.
is skill-based matchmaking.
Yeah.
I can see that.
They need to take.
If they took that out, bro,
shit
somebody's dropping
out.
150 kills. I swear on it.
Dude,
I
like,
swear on it. If you
Bro.
take out skill-based matchmaking, you will see a 150 kill game. They dropped 121. Who was
I
that?
still don't know how they dropped 121, dude. And they didn't split. That's the thing. They all stay together. I do not know how they dropped 121.
I
like,
really do think
Paul
Infinity
said-
Ward is giving these big streamers like slicker matchmaking just for the content creation purposes of it. I literally think they do. I'll be watching people with like a 6 KD in the game have like just these absolute bots like just like crouch walking like down the street, and I'm like, tell me that dude has a 6 KD. Tell me.
Yeah, Paul said put in a ranked play system. Like, dude,
Ranked
if you add
playlist?
ranked play, it'll literally like have like Fortnite, for example. Fortnite has pubs. It has the arena.
I just got lightheaded.
Granted, I think both were at one point skill-based matchmaking, but they finally took it out of pubs.
No, I got
So pubs
reinstated.
is casual.
It
Okay,
got reinstated into pubs.
okay, well, at one point in its lifespan, when most people enjoyed it, I'm speaking
Exactly.
by, I'm speaking by experience here, because I used to love Fortnite before skill-based matchmaking ruined it. You have the pubs where you just relax with your friends and you have a good time.
Bro.
And then if you want to get sweaty, then that's when you go to the
Throw it into
arena. That's
ranked
where you go
play.
for the point system.
Go
That's
for
where
the point system.
you know, you climb the ladders, like whatever. Like that is, I think that's the best way because it's the best. It's literally the best of both worlds. You get the sweaty playlist and you get the playlist where you can just relax and have fun.
Exactly, bro. And I think that's. I mean, dude, that's all you really need to keep your player base satisfied. Well, granted, we need good servers first of all. Don't even get me started on the servers.
The servers.
I actually really have not had a problem
Bro,
with
I
servers. in a
swear,
while.
I
You've
swear,
been an
Paul.
absolute blessed human
I
being.
am telling you, Infinity Ward is giving these big
But
content creators
It's because you guys
easy
play
matchmaking.
quads. I refuse to play quads.
I hate
I
quads.
tried to play trios. I've hated quads since they brought it into the game.
I was having a decent game or a decent time on Warzone in trios earlier. It was just me and Dennis and Luke, and we picked up Gloria, and I was like, I love Gloria, so I'll just run quads. Went to shit. I lost full like immediately.
Joe, even that one night, dude, when it was just me and you, and we were on Warzone trios that one night, we were having fun.
Yeah, just
Like,
me and you
even
duo trios. Duo trios. It's better than the full squad.
Like literally, we were having fun. Like even though we were dying, we were like getting kills. We were having fun, you know.
Man,
Bro, I'm telling you,
I
bro,
love
there's something
quads.
fishy.
I loved quads for the reason that it allowed me to have these big kill games. It
Yeah,
allowed
the
me
big kill
to
games
get
are
the high kill
fun.
games. But then it just got to the point where it's not fun to play anymore. Like I enjoy playing pubs more than I do Warzone.
Bro, I
And that's
literally
saying
feel
something in
like I
Modern
have to
Warfare.
be like freaking lasered out of my mind on like Adderall to be able to play quads. Like, just like for like,
There's so much stuff you have to pay attention to.
there's so much stuff, bro. And like, dude, I feel like the third party's even worse in quads.
There's more people,
It's 150 no matter what in either way.
but there's like There's technically two extra people that are shooting at you. And then okay, this is the way that I thought about it, and I thought about it a lot. So I feel like trios are a lot better because say like, in my opinion, it's easier to read. So say if like your full squad's down, you run into another squad that's a 1v3, right? You have two people focusing on the front, right? And then almost always there's at least one guy trying to get the flank for the easy kill, right?
Yep.
But when you have quads, you have two people focusing the front, and then now you have two guys going for the flank. and you don't know where the hell they're at. So that's when it comes down to easy reads. So like in trios, it's easy to predict where people are going to be coming from, because in my sense, it's like map awareness. Like say at Boneyard, when we drop Boneyard, say if like you're fighting with two guys on the opposite building, right? You're cracking shots at each other whatsoever, but then all of a sudden you're like, wait, there's two up there. One's probably going to come down from the bottom, and then you pick the bottom. That's an easy pick, and now that's a kill. But you have two guys over there, and then you have two guys pushing you from the bottom. You could read it, but there's not a chance that you're going to win that 1v2 that easily like you would a 1v1.
Facts. Okay. So I mean, Warzone is a big ground war deal, and one of the Dadgummit Z.
Leave me
I
alone.
gotta scroll back up. And one of the best ground war players was Formal, but he doesn't really ground Warzone, so when he does, you see him play Super Sweats. The people that are constantly streaming the game with big viewers do not get those lobbies. No, they do not, bro. I see
numbers
COD
are as high
pros.
as they were for players.
And like
Yeah,
most
also
COD
I think a good
pros,
way of dropping it is dropping the player count from 150 to like 120.
125,
100,
something like
125, 100, something like that. Because
Supposedly, there's speculation they're trying to raise it up to 200. There's speculation, but I don't know if it's going to happen.
I do not think that's a good idea in any way, shape, or form. No, get that boo-hawkery out of here, bro.
Infinity Ward, bro. Wow. Okay.
I mean,
bro, the game, dude, Warzone matches are non-stop with 150.
Bro, you could have 80 people in the final circle, dog.
You know how ass that would be?
Paul even said, there's no way the servers... There's no shot
Oh my
the servers
god,
handle
no, the
200
servers.
players.
They can't handle 150. Barely.
Barely.
You know, you get those couple lobbies and quads where you got 152. Those are the ones where you lag. There's two extra people. That's where the bad servers come in. Nah.
Really? I was...
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
said, really?
Stupid right now.
You know what, Joe?
Yeah.
I hate you.
Yeah.
Alright, do y'all have anything else to talk about, bro? Because we're about to hit the hour and a half mark.
Yeah, we're about to hit the hour and a half mark. What would make Warzone better?
Take out skill-based matchmaking. Take out self-revives, other than in solos. I think they're not a bad thing in solos.
I would take out the gulag. I hate the gulag.
Make a
I love the
new
gulag.
map. Downtown is ass.
Honestly, I was watching something, and I forgot who or what I was watching, but they made Louis the best point in the game. Just take out the whole right side of the map.
Yeah, I was literally talking about that with Brian this morning.
Lumber.
Take out farmland, take out port. As much as I like lumber, take out lumber.
Port.
Take out port.
Ass.
Take out downtown. Take out
Ass.
hospital. Take out
Ass.
stadium. And
Ass.
take out prison.
Take out prison?
That's me.
Yeah.
I like prison.
Literally,
Dang.
where there's a drain and it flows up, cut out everything that drain except for go over a little bit, cut out downtown,
Just
so
wipe
then go all
that
the way
shit
around,
clean.
and then wrap it around quarry, take out quarry as well, and then cut it off there to where it's just military. Then
Airport.
on the right side there's hospital, there's what we call Beaver and Top Gun, then airport and
Like-
so on and so forth, bro. Like, cut out the right side of the map. It is
It's
just way too
so
big.
stupid. Why? Like,
Airport. Take out airport.
No,
I hate airport.
disagree.
love the hangars.
I don't mind hangars, but I'm talking about the actual airport.
Yeah, but if you take out airport, then you take out hangars.
I just hate airport too much.
Eh.
Nah, airport's not as
got
bad. Take out
pandas
the
here.
big ass tower in airport.
That's my biggest
Why is
problem.
that there?
Why are they creating uncontestable high ground in several spots all over the map. Whereas
Damn.
if you get
Damn, bro, when
circle
circle
in that
finishes on
tower, if you get like final circle in that tower, everybody else can go fuck themselves.
You're forgetting about damn.
And damn, oh yeah, if you are not on top of the dam and you get that stupid circle that
You're
goes
screwed.
way the hell northwest, guess what, buddy? You can
screwed.
suck these Cheez-Its. I don't know how YouTube feels about that.
Yeah.
Eat those Cheez-Its,
Whoa.
baby.
Paul just said 3 great things. Take out all of downtown, but replace
Make
it with
airport
high-rise- No,
terminal.
shut up. Take out all of downtown, make it hard hat and high rise, mashed in together, and then replace airport with the map terminal.
I fucks with that. I fucks with that heavy.
I could get with that.
That solves downtown, that solves airport, and then cut out the whole right side
Oh
of
my
the fucking
god, the
map.
jail says you
I fucks
should.
with that heavy.
Jail talking about the damn circles. He said you should have done more recons, Joe.
Dude, Infinity Ward, if you're watching this, which I know you're not, if you're watching this, hire Paul as a fucking map designer.
Hey, Pop gets a call right now. Hey guys,
Like, bro.
Also, IW.
hey, we're gonna have to blur that out on YouTube.
Yep, blur that out. Z, you got that editing skill?
Z.
Alright, but we got anything else to talk about, bro? I think we've hit that hour and a half mark.
Yeah, we're about at the hour and a half mark. I mean,
I mean,
know.
just mention what we got next week.
what is next week? I mean, yeah, recap
Next
CDL.
week, I think next week we're gonna try maybe
What
to
happened
bring
to the
on first
Warzone
guest.
event that was supposed to happen today?
I don't know.
Another
Let's
another IW letdown.
Yeah.
Another one.
So next week, I think we talk about if the Warzone event happens. I think we definitely talk about the Warzone event.
Yeah.
We definitely recap on this past CDL weekend. We talk about the teams, how they performed, how the tournament ended up unfolding, and I definitely think we bring another COD-minded person on the next episode.
Expendable said we should talk about how handsome George is.
Oh yeah, this is the first time a lot of people are seeing me.
Yeah, this is what George looks like, everybody.
That's him, right?
That's George.
Right here.
Right here.
Right here. Right here.
No, I'm putting on the wrong side, Joe. Your camera's fucking stupid. Here.
Yeah.
I forgot.
Anything
This is the
else?
first time a lot of people are seeing me.
Like, you have Scrapyard, MW2, MW3, has some of the best maps. Use that shit. Perfect.
We got anything
Imagine
else, bro?
if this in Warzone. Yikes.
No. Okay. Before we go off on a tangent,
Gross.
I think we've kind of wrapped everything up here, don't y'all?
Yeah.
Yeah. Think
All
so.
right. Well, guys, I hope you enjoyed the first episode. Not another COD pod.
Obviously, we got kinks to work out.
Yeah, and we definitely got things to work out next week. Hopefully, next week I'll definitely be streaming.
Maybe
it by
Z
now.
won't forget his personality next week.
Huh?
You were a little
Trying
dry.
to be professional.
Bro, you were being dry, though.
I was bringing up good points.
That
I'm not acting like
chicken
a
wasn't
fucking
moist.
idiot.
That chicken wasn't moist, baby.
Dude,
No-
I'm
nobody
literally
likes
gonna, Chat, I'm gonna do things
It don't
on
matter how
camera.
you season it. Nobody wants that dry
But-
chicken.
Chat, we
Yo,
appreciate y'all being
yeah.
here. Hope y'all enjoyed the first episode of Not Another COD
Yep.
Pod. We'll be live again next week. This was going on YouTube tomorrow.
Yep, going on
we haven't
YouTube.
We haven't discussed what time, but it's going on my YouTube channel. It's youtube.com/MatthewZ512.
He's gonna change his
We'll
name
be
to
there
Not Another
tomorrow.
COD Pod to make
No,
it
we're not.
easier.
Yeah.
He is.
He
We
is.
appreciate y'all being here. Seriously, it means a lot.
Yeah,
We'll try to bring on a guest next
If
week.
you like the pod,
If you're on YouTube, make sure you hit that like button. If you
Thumbs.
enjoyed the podcast.
if you got
Please,
anything you would like us to discuss, comments. If you think there's ways we could do this shit better, I don't believe you, but let us know.
Yeah, if you think there's things we could improve on 100%, put it down in the comments below.
Yeah.
But like we said, it's been your boy Matthew or Z.
It's been your boy, Boss, or George or Gio.
Brother Boss. And it's your
Brother Boss.
boy, Let's Go Joe.
And on
Alright.
YouTube, we'll see you fudging later.
We'll show you later.
Bye.
Well,
Woo!